is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Narcissists Code. I am your favorite narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock himself, aka Mr. Mental Healness. If this is your first time tuning in, I am a diagnosed, self-aware narcissist. I have narcissistic personality disorder, and I am living with it. I am expressing my perspective. I am giving everybody the inner workings of a narcissist. Today's episode is going to be about the trauma bond. Like the trauma bond with a narcissist, the trauma bond in a toxic relationship, just a trauma bond overall, point blank, period. So if you're unfamiliar with the trauma bond, this is the definition of trauma bond on Google. Traumatic bonding occurs as the result of ongoing cycles of abuse in which the intermittent reinforcement of reward and punishment creates powerful emotional bonds that are resistant to change. That is trauma bonding. Like, from my perspective in a narcissistic relationship, trauma bonding is like when you see, like when you, on the outside looking in, you see somebody getting abused and they just refuse to leave. Like, you are clearly getting abused. Like, why don't you just leave him? You know, and I'm thinking the same thing. You know, because like, just personally, I just don't understand. Me being a narcissist, I don't understand the emotions that are behind the trauma bond. I'm like, what? Why can't you just leave? Like, people will see me Snapchats and TikToks and stuff like that where they're clearly getting abused. They're clearly unhappy. They're just clearly not. This is not happiness. This is not the life you want to live. But like, okay, just leave. You know, and that's the first thought. And it's like, you know, the trauma bond. So I've heard from different creators on TikTok, you know, different creators on Instagram, and they kind of explain the trauma bond to me so I can help more people. I was like, okay, this is like, hey, this person has been mentally abused so much and gaslighted so much that they think this is love, this is not love. Trauma bonded is just like literally you bonded through trauma, kind of like Stockholm syndrome, you know, like where you get to the point where, like you start to feel sorry for your abuser and things like that. You start to like care about your abuser, and you think you deserve this abuse. I'm sorry, y'all. A bee just flew in my studio, and I'm looking up at it. I just like, don't sting me, please. This is not the time, please. I'm doing. This is gonna be a great. I'm not gonna stop it now because now my heart is racing. I can't stop it now, y'all. Like literally, a bee is like hovering over me right now. So I'm trauma bonded to the bee. No, I'm just joking. But like, if it stings me, and I don't want to, like, if it stings me, it's a wasp. So if it stings me, it's not gonna die. So if it stings me, and I love the bee, and I care about the bee. And the bee, you know, I want to cherish the bee, whatever. Like, hey, the bee is just living his life, and I deserve to be stung because I left my door open. That's kind of in my brain what the trauma bond is. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like God just said that bee in here, y'all. That was a good line for me. Don't take it as disrespect. That was a good line. It just came off the top of my head because there's like literally, I keep looking up. You're my podcast, you can't see me, but I'm looking up right now. It's like in the corner, like, no, don't sting me. But it's kind of like that. Like, if the bee stings me, like, and I feel sorry for the bee because I put myself in this situation. Like, hey, the bee stung me because that's the way the bee, that's the bee or the wasp life. That it's going to sting people to get in its way. And I've been in the bee's way. I'm in the bee's way right now. Like, because my shed is where the bee's hive used to be. So yeah, I deserve to be stung. And I'm not going to, like, I'm a care and love the bee, you know. I'm a care and love for the bee after it stings me and does what it does. And I'm blaming myself for the bee stinging me. That is the trauma bond. Oh my goodness, right above my head, y'all. Oh my goodness, this just flying in here, like literally. I can't stop the video now. I have to keep going. Oh my goodness, if I get stung, y'all look, if I get stung, I better get 1 million likes on this thing. I better get 1 million likes. I got my book up right now. Cause please don't sting me. I'm just trying to do some fire right now. I'm doing some fire. Don't do it. Please don't come over here. But anyways, y'all, so I don't, like I said earlier, I just don't understand the emotions behind the trauma bond, but people explain it to me some more. And so I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to do this one-on-ones. I'm doing the Wizios and things like that where I can help people. I talk to people. And this helps, you know, like knowing what the trauma bond, the emotions and stuff behind the trauma bond help. So where I feel like I can help is how the trauma bond is established, like the breadcrumbing, all the things like that, you know. So narcissists are all about patterns. Like, this is probably how we establish the trauma bond. So we are so set in our ways, so set in our patterns that we have to, you know, keep the I love to have control. I love having control over my time, my energy, my effort, my family, my kids, everything. Everything needs to be in control. Everything needs to be like succinct and in order. If it's not, I go crazy. So I establish patterns in my life, and the narcissistic patterns are pretty obvious nowadays. You see, hey, love bombing, devaluation, discard, and I know there's a few other steps in there, but like, you know, this is how the love bombing, and that's what I've saw so far. You know, I've saw it. The bee is getting closer. Those are the patterns that I've seen so far that are recognizable to me. So I thought about it. I started thinking to myself, like, in my life, what type of things have, I done personally to, like, establish the trauma bond, to get people attached to me where they couldn't forget about me and things like that, But like I said, my patterns are so obvious. Like, I listen to the same music all the time. I've been listening to Usher since I was like 17 years old, 18 years old. I remember listening to Usher when I was in high school, getting out of high school and things like that. So I play the same Usher songs over and over and over again. And that type of stuff can be repetitive to people. And that can be like reinforcement, like it can be reinforced in your brain. So every time you hear my favorite Usher song, "Can You Help Me," that makes you think about me. Every time you smell the scent that I wear, the cologne that I wear, the soap or the body wash that I use outside of the house, that makes you think about me. That type of stuff is like intermittent reinforcement without me even having to be there. So if I don't have to be there to reinforce, to trigger your brain to make you think about me, then that's even more powerful. Because I'm watching the same movies over and over and over again, listen to the same music on repeat over and over and over again. So you're hearing the same things that I heard. You're smelling the same things that I smell. You are, hearing the same things that I hear, and all that type of stuff right there will put it in your brain. So every time you leave the house and you smell that stuff, you think about me. Every time you hear Usher, you hear Usher's name, you hear Usher's song, you think about me. So that type of stuff right there can actually be, in my brain, it can be actually used to reinforce a trauma bond. Because another way the trauma bond is established is because in the beginning of a narcissistic relationship, it's so high, the high highs, there's super high highs, we are in love. I'm saying I love you 2 or 3 weeks into the relationship, we're talking about kids and the picket fences and the family and the dog and the cat and all that type of stuff, meeting my parents, meeting your parents, all this type of stuff, and it's a rush. It's a rush of endorphins in your brain. It's a rush of, all the chemicals in your brain are released because now you think that you are in love with somebody, because the narcissist is love bombing you. And then once the love bombing fades and things like that, then once we pull back the layer, once we pull back to show you who we really are, the person that's behind the love bombing and stuff like that, you are fighting so constantly and so hard to get that person back that we can give you a little taste of who that person was, and you'll stay there. We can give you a little piece of who we were, and you'll be happy with that. And that's where the breadcrumbing comes in. Little bits and pieces of what we used to do is used to get you to stay there, to get you to still be in love. And that's why you see so many times when people are describing a narcissistic relationship, they always say it wasn't so bad, it wasn't always this bad. I always hear that's one of the main terms I hear is it wasn't always this bad, it wasn't all bad. We had good times too, but the bad times always outweigh the good. And then you so focused on getting back to the good times that you will accept a semblance, a piece, a little vision, a breadcrumb of the good times, and that will make you happy. That will reinforce the fact that you love me, that you care about me, and I'm worth staying for. I'm worth sticking around for. You don't want to miss out on me. I seen somebody use that term today. I don't want to miss out on this person. What? This person is treating you terribly. You don't want to miss out on this person? How? What are you missing out on? Mental abuse? I don't And I say, I know it's hard for me to understand. I don't even I want to understand it. I crave knowledge. I crave to understand. I like to be in control of my circumstances and things like that. So I want to know why people are bonded to me. And I was they like the little jokes. They like going out on dates and stuff like that. So you go out on a little date after. We used to go out on dates every night. We used to go out to eat every week. Once a week. So now we do it once a year. That once a year keeps you happy. And then we have kids together, so the bond is even tighter now because now we have kids involved, and you don't want to break the family up, So you'll take that little breadcrumb of love and appreciation and affection. And now I'm still doing what I did. We're at the bottom of our relationship now. We're at the lowest of lows, and you are happy with me giving you a peek of what we used to be. Now, that's what I say. It's the smells and stuff like that. I feel like they can have an effect too. I feel like the smells that you smell, the sights that you see, the movies that I watch, that movie comes on, the actor, my favorite actor in the movie, you watch Training Day with Denzel or something like that, you watch another movie, you watch my favorite Disney movie or something like that, you think about me. And that I feel like that helps too, because I feel like that's intermittent reinforcement without me even having to be there. Because if you see my favorite movie, if you see Tropic Thunder on TV when I'm not there, it makes you think about the first date that we had, the first movie that we bonded over. That's Tropic Thunder. So now that's reinforcement as well. There's stuff like that I don't think people think about. You smell that cologne, like some Curve. You know, we're wearing Curve back in the day. So you smell some Curve out in public. You think about me, and that's intermittent reinforcement. That's reinforcement I'll be having to be there. You hear some Usher, that's reinforcement I'll be having to be there. So I feel like even the music and all the stuff that we used to share together in the past, that is reinforcement as well without me having to be there, without the narcissist having to be there. So things like that is hard. That's why it's so hard to separate from the narcissist, because everything reminds you of that person. That's why going no contact is the best way, because it helps you kind of detox from that person. Helps you kind of detox from me, get away from the smells and the scents and things like that. Go off and be on your own. Be healthy, be loving, be cared for like you deserve to be cared for. I think like breaking the trauma bond is going to be hard, but like you have to break contact with the person to break the bond, you know? You can't have contact with me, constant contact with me, especially if we don't have kids. If we don't have kids, you don't need to have contact with me. You know what I mean? I know we might have other bills and stuff like that. We can find a way, you can find a way around that type of stuff. But like kids, you know, it's tough. Low contact, great, like what do you call it? Yellow rock. Very low contact, no unnecessary contact. It's all about the kids, not about us. No talk about us, you know? Keep it like that. I think you can make it. I think you can make it through. I think baby steps. Baby steps are still steps. You can make it through the trauma bond, or you can get through this situation and things like that. Anyways, y'all, my battery's about to go dead. So thank y'all so much for tuning in to this episode. Follow me on TikTok at Mental Healness, Instagram at mental_healness. I'm on Twitter now. You want some one-on-one stuff coming up here pretty soon. I should have that established here in the next couple of days. Thank y'all so much. I really, really appreciate it. Like and subscribe to this for more. I thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. Mental Healness is out. Peace.